Look at your goofy ass. Look at your goofy ass. This is in the divorced men on Reddit. Caught my wife cheating. Now she wants half of everything. I'm honestly still trying to wrap my head around all of what happened to me, so please bear with me. Yo, start with my wife, and I had been married for 3 years, and yeah, turns out she was cheating on me. And I have no idea how long. The worst part is how I found out. I was out with a couple of friends heading to a restaurant, and we passed by one local hotel. I randomly noticed her car parked outside, which immediately felt off. Something just didn't sit right, so I stuck around for a bit, and sure enough, I saw her shortly come out with some guy. Not just casually either. They were full on kissing and definitely not in a friendly way. I confronted her right there at the parking lot, which, yeah, probably wasn't my proudest moment. It got really messy, and you should have seen me. I made a huge scene. She didn't even try to deny it. And then she hits me with the harsh words of saying, "I never loved you." And that marrying me was basically just something to do after college. That part stung me more than anything, not gonna lie. For context, we met online and only later realized we grew up on the same street. I'm about 7 years older than her, so we never really crossed paths growing up, and it was almost like meeting a stranger anyway. Things moved kind of fast after we reconnected. What really bothers me now is the whole divorce situation. She's the one pushing for it, which honestly is fine with me. After that betrayal, I'm not exactly fighting to keep the marriage alive, but now she wants half of everything. Here's where I'm confused and even frustrated. Basically, I bought my house, just a small place, let's say, before I even met her. I already had my car after we got married. I bought her a car, and she didn't work at all during the entire 3 years we were together, and I covered everything. And now suddenly it's split everything 50-50. I have a consultation scheduled with PTW Law, but before I go in, I figured I ask here to Reddit. Right now, it just feels like I got played from the start and I'm about to pay for it twice. No shit. What is the point to provide for a woman when women are going to act like this? Guys, stop getting in this mindset. Every time you get with a woman, you want to marry this woman. You want to make her life easy. You know, you don't got to work. It's fine. I'll pay for everything. And look at your goofy ass. He's going to have to pay. And there ain't no other way around this. She's probably going to get half. She's been out of the workforce for 3 years. So they're able to use that as an argument in court. I don't have the same skills as I did. I wasn't working. Why put yourself in this position to pay for everything? Why? Stop providing. Nothing good comes out of providing. It does not. Look at this situation. And he's not the only one. There are a lot of guys who were in this situation who were providing, paying all the bills, and still their wife cheated on them, divorced them. I'm not happy. You're never home. No shit, he's not home. He's working. He has to provide. Not everyone is blessed with working from home and being around your goofy ass 24/7. Stop providing. Stop being put in the trick bag. You gain nothing providing. You did your part. You did everything you can to make this marriage work, and still it's not enough. She ended up fucking some other guy. Why would you put yourself in this position to give this woman all this money, everything you worked so hard for, down the drain, gone? Now he's going to have to start his life all over again. After giving her half, after she was fucking that guy. And she had the nerve to say, "I never loved you." This is what happens when women waste your time. You get with a post-war woman, you deal with any type of woman. They feel like they're settling for you because you were the nice guy. You probably were kissing this woman's ass, thinking you got a prize, not knowing she's an undercover hoe. She got a high-ass body count, but you look past that because you were so weak as a man. You put pussy on a pedestal. You put pussy above everything. I want to make her life easier. I want to be that man. I want to be Superman because she sucks my pee-pee. Get out of that mindset. Stop providing for, they don't deserve that. What did I say? Women want the easy way out. She found a fucking simp to marry her goofy ass. And now she's about to get half of this shit. She's going to be okay. She's going to leave. They're already getting a divorce. On his dime, she's going to use that money to splurge on this dude she's fucking on the side. And I guarantee you, this guy she's fucking, don't make as much money as this dude. But he's exciting. He pipes her down good. She's arching that back for him. Arch that back. She's doing that shit on the regular. ATB, arch that back. She's bending the fuck over for him. And I guarantee you that nigga's hitting it raw too. Get out of this mindset thinking that you gotta provide. Provide for what? Women used to be traditional back in the day. They ain't traditional no more. And you think you need to provide now? Hell no. You fought for feminism. Y'all women fought for this shit. You wanted to work. You wanted to climb the corporate ladder, work. You're not going to come into our lives saying, I don't want to work no more. So what? So you're going to just be sitting around not doing shit in my house? No. Get out of that mindset. You have a damn dependent. You have a useless ass woman in your life. Do not ever put yourself in that position where you're carrying all the weight. Doing everything on your own and still you're getting fucked over at the end because she's fucking somebody else and he's going to take you for all of your shit. Wake up in 2026. Leave all this, fuck that providing shit. These women are grown ass women. Their asses can work too. Get out of that mindset. Let's watch this video.
That's going to save you a lot of frustration. Sit down. If you keep saying, I want a provider man, and you cannot find one, it is not because provider men don't exist. They are everywhere. Men are wired to provide. That's not rare, that is biological. What's rare is being the woman he wants to provide for. And I want to give you a real life example from literally yesterday that happened to me. I was in the supermarket, AirPods in, doing my little meal prep shopping, enjoying myself while I'm in the supermarket, romanticizing. You can tell I was enjoying my food shopping. Happy, relaxed, not looking, not scanning, not trying too hard, not trying at all, just looking for my stuff. And a man comes up to me and says, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Your energy, your aura, your smile. Wow. Please allow me to pay for your groceries. And I remember thinking afterwards, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't performing from.
So many damn simps out here doing this goofy shit. The simps are killing it. The simps really ruined the dating market.
I wasn't trying to attract. I wasn't even paying attention to anybody in the store but myself and listening to my YouTube podcast. I was just in good energetic state. And this is what I'm always trying to explain to you girlies. Men are everywhere. Provider energy is everywhere. You do not meet them by hunting. You meet them by being energetically available. Energetically in your feminine. That's what I mean by energetically available. Energetically in your feminine. And a man that's, if you're on the spectrum of femininity, you're here, you're going to attract a man that's on the spectrum of masculinity over here. That's just how.
And how much you want to bet she's been giving up that pussy to non-providers? That energy, yeah. I arched that back for Dante, Chad, Tyrone, Enrique Tan, Bumbling Hot Bubba. I arched that back for them. But they non-providers though. But they were packing. How much you want to bet she's been giving pussy to niggas who are non-providers?
Works. The more here you are, the more here he's gonna be. That means his masculinity is gonna decrease and your femininity has also decreased. So the more feminine you become, the more you're gonna attract. Cause polarity, contrast. Men love to impress women. They love to serve women. That's how they are.
Men do not love to serve women. So we want to serve some damn women with a high ass body count? No, simps do that. Not all men. That's simps who do that goofy shit. Not all men.
They build, they work, they get money. They expand because of women. Not because a woman demands it, but because
Never provide for women. Provide for yourself. If you want to invite a woman into your life, yeah, make sure she is an asset to your life, not no damn liability. You provide for yourself, never for a woman.
Inspires it. And this is where women go wrong. Stop going on dates announcing, my standard is a provider man. That's masculine energy. Instead, go on a date assuming that he will provide because it's who you are. I've never, ever in my life went on a date and sat there and thought like that didn't even come to my head about paying, or that he wasn't going to pay, or that's not, or pulling out my wallet. That's never happened. Like I said, go on the dates assuming he will provide because it's who you are. The date, the relationship, the marriage, all of it. But if it's a domino effect. It starts in the dating, then the relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, and then the marriage. If it feels forced, uncomfortable, or resisted, you don't convince him, you don't educate him, and you don't wait. You simply understand this man is not for me. And go live your life. Because the right man will not need to be taught how to provide.
And you know there's a kid in the background, right? You hear him, you see him. I bet you her baby daddy wasn't a provider man. There's a kid in the background.
Your presence will activate it. And if this is clicking for you, this is exactly what I teach inside the Feminine Reset and the Provider Magnet. Not to chase men and not to demand provision, but how to regulate your nervous system, how to shift your self-concept, and become the woman men naturally want to step up for. Both are linked in my bio, and remember, start embodying and stop trying to convince people. Okay? You're a goddess, and I need you to act like it this whole 2026, okay? Okay, baby? I love you. Mwah. I hope this video helped. Bye! This is a very cool...
It's so funny how a woman can get pumped and dumped and she's a baby mama, not a wife, but she's a baby mama thinking that she is qualified to coach women. When you've been pumped and dumped by Enrique, Jesus, maybe Ricky Dan, you let these people shoot the club up. You don't know who. Now I bet you her baby daddy ain't no provider man. That's why she's looking for a provider now. She's a pretty girl, but a dumbass simp there's gonna be a dumbass simp out there who's gonna save this woman.
An efficient way to know that the man you're dealing with is actually serious about you. What you're going to do is you're going to present to him an opportunity where you need a small amount of money, like $50 for an oil change, $75 for a phone bill, $100 for a textbook.
And when women come up to you with this bullshit, she does not like you. If a woman really likes you, she'll be embarrassed to ask you to pay a fucking phone bill. She's broke. She's broke. Do not allow these women into your life when they're asking you to pay a bill. You really want a dependent in your life? Don't do it.
Something like that, okay? It's best to do this in person, but basically you're just going to tell him that you have this thing coming up. You have an oil change coming up and it's going to cost $50. You have a phone bill coming up and it's going to cost $75. You have a textbook you need to buy and it's going to cost $100. And that's it, okay? Even if you have the money, that's it. You're just going to leave it at that and you're going to wait for his reaction. Speaking from experience, a man who is serious about you and really likes you is going to send you that money right away. He doesn't even care when you need it. He doesn't care if you need it next week. He's going to send it to you today, okay? A man who's not that serious about you is going to give you excuses or solutions on how you can make that money yourself, and you don't want that. Excuses are going to sound like, oh, I don't have it this week. I might have it next week. Baby, can you hang on? Can you wait for me to get paid? He's not going to give it to you. Solutions is like, oh, my boy owns a bar. You want to go get a bartending job for a couple weeks? You know, you could earn some extra cash. No. Okay? No, because you already know that that option exists. The reason why you're with him is because you don't even want to have to think about that option. If he gives you excuses or solutions, he's a dub. Men love their money. So they only want to spend their money on someone that they love. And if they don't love you, they're not going to spend their money on you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad if you're in a relationship with this type of guy, because I've been there too, right? But the only thing you have to remember is that's not your lifelong partner, because your lifelong partner wants to be able to give you what you need right away. And if he can't, he finds a way to make it happen. And if he doesn't find a way to make it happen, he's not capable of raising your children. So do not give him any.
Your children, his children, goofy. Because you can't have a kid without a man's sperm. But these women are down bad in 2026, and they're getting more desperate, as you can see. Yeah, they're looking for a provider. Their asses got laid off, unemployed, looking goofy as goofy. That's what they are. They just goofy asses looking for a man to live off of, even though they got a high ass body count. They let niggas who are not providers beat up that pussy. And they're looking for a nice guy now.
He's not capable of putting a roof over your head, so do not move in with him. He's not capable of funding a wedding, so do not get married to him. Do you see what I'm saying?
But let me know in the comments, isn't the American tradition, doesn't the woman's dad have to pay for the wedding? In American tradition? Let me know in the comments, because I thought that was a thing. But she probably don't even know her fucking daddy if he can't pay for the fucking wedding. But let me know in the comments, is that a thing? The woman's dad's supposed to pay for the wedding?
And you don't want to have to ask twice. You don't want to have to ask 3 times. You don't want to have to ask every week. So that's why I said he's going to send it to you as soon as possible, because he doesn't even want you to ask again. He wants to give you exactly what you want right away. If you haven't found it yet, there's nothing wrong with you. Please don't try to change yourself or beat yourself up. There's nothing wrong with you. You have to just keep waiting and keep looking, okay? Keep saying no. Keep saying no to the Dusties.
A man providing is the bare minimum. Look at how many roles a woman carries. She works, she cooks, she cleans, she takes
you may just work, but most of these women are not cooking and cleaning like that. They can't cook for shit. You know how many lazy women are in marriages that don't do shit? We do so much. Y'all don't do shit in marriages. Just sit on your asses and live off of a man. Come on now.
of the children. She manages the home. She supports him emotionally. She's intimate with him. And she's still expected to...
And keep in mind, if you got a wife who's doing this, right? She's taking care of the kid and shit. If you got a wife who's doing this and your kid is failing, he's a F student, flunking out of classes, getting kicked out, you married the wrong woman. Because if she's the only one at home with him, raising him while you are working, doing your thing, and you got a kid who is an F student, bad as fuck in school, always getting in trouble. What the fuck has she been doing at home with him if he's such a badass kid? Take that into... I always think about that shit. Because these women talk about, I'm taking care of the kid, but your kid is a badass kid at school, always getting kicked out, slapping the teachers and shit. Come on now. I always think about that.
look her best every day. Yeah, she gets...
Most women are not looking their best. You know how many women gain fucking weight in a marriage and look hideous? Put in no effort.
called materialistic for asking for the bare minimum. No, babe. You are not asking for too much. He's loved.
You can't even do the bare minimum for men. You bad in bed. You don't shut up. Every time your husband comes home from work, all you do is nag, run your goddamn mouth. How about you give your husband some head, make him a sandwich, and just shut up? That's the bare minimum. How about you do that? But y'all can't do that because you like to run your fucking mouth, right? Like to run your fucking mouth talking about nothing. Y'all can't even do... You require so much out of men when y'all don't even do the bare fucking minimum. You guys are users. You guys are leeches. Lazy as fuck. Boring as fucking bed. Why, like, pushing your husband to have side bitches and mistresses because you are such a lazy ass woman. Don't believe this provider bullshit. Do not. Provide for yourself. Stack your money. Hold the line.
Lucky to have a woman like you in his life. A good woman multiplies a man's life. He becomes more focused, more disciplined.
How does a woman multiply a man's life when you go through a divorce and this guy has to start his whole life all over again and you take him for half of his shit? How does that make sense?
More attractive, fitter, and more successful. So don't let anyone convince you that you need to settle for less.
This is such a hot take that I realize may definitely be a minority type of opinion I'm holding. But I've been meeting more guy friends, and I like have talks with these guy friends about like, oh, their types and like what they want to do for their future. And tell me why a lot of these recent guy friends I've been meeting, they're kind of like, oh, I hope to be able to be financially stable enough that my future partner or wife doesn't even have to like work if they want to or don't want to. And in my head, I immediately was kind of like, whoa, like that's kind of a lot of pressure. Like I didn't realize how big of a pressure a lot of guys feel about having to be successful financially to be able to like provide like for their families and for their partners. And I'm kind of like, that's really rough, that's really tough, and like that's kind of unfair. Maybe because I'm an eldest daughter kind of person, and I feel like I kind of have to make enough money for myself in a way as well as for my family. But I just think like, even with the whole notion of when you're going on a first date and like women expect the guys to like offer to pay for the whole thing, or in general offer to pay, to me I've always been like, oh, that's pretty like courteous, but I wouldn't expect it. I think like my mindset has always been like, we can split the bill, like I don't mind. I think it's nice that they offered, but they don't have to full on like insist or pay. And especially if it's like every time we go out, I think that's like, that starts making me feel guilty and bad, because it's like, you're just gonna pay every time. Like that's such a burden for you. And like, what about me? Like I could pay for myself too. And I'm just like, I feel bad. Like I just feel like guys shouldn't have to always pay. And guys, like, I think it's really nice, but, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't even offer or like completely rely on the woman, but I do think I resonate and feel sympathy that there's this type of societal pressure, maybe from family pressure, that guys have to be able to provide.
It's the women who are verbally saying this online, what they require. They're putting this all on their dating profiles. They want the soft life. They want a provider. It's the women who are feeding this shit. Okay?
And make that much money, because in this economy, in this day and age, like that's so hard to do.
I'm going to give you a little pro tip for you to figure out whether or not the man that you're dating is a natural provider or not, okay? Because if we have to teach them that, they can move to the side. And I really hope this doesn't land on any of the men's For You pages, because if they figure out this hack and figure out this is how we can tell whether or not they're providers, like, oh my God. But anyway.
Pay attention so you know. Like she's giving you the blueprint on how these women will try to fuck you over.
The next time that you're on a date with a man, I want you to ask him, what are his love languages? Not in terms of receiving love, but in terms of giving love. Because if acts of service is not his main way of showing love, or at least in his top two, there is no way that he is in his masculine energy. A man in his masculine energy is someone who is going to naturally be about actions instead of words. So if he's telling
you don't live your life, you'd never live your life to try to make a woman's life easier. Fuck that. She don't know shit about masculine energy. You're just a fucking user, giving your coochie to the highest bidder. You take care of yourself. You provide for yourself, never for a fucking woman. Unless she's proven herself to you. If not, you kick her ass to the curb. Let her find some dumbass simp to take her on. Not you. This one over here giving pussy like it's candy to all the rich guys. And don't. Come on now.
You that his love language is words of affirmation or like physical touch, that does nothing for you. You don't need a man who's on your phone telling you you're beautiful and then wants to fucking have sex with you. You need a man who's going to take care of you and is going to be of service to you. You're welcome.
Never be of service to a woman. Never.
Part 3 on how to identify men, provider men on dating apps, okay? We've talked about intentionality, we've talked about how to position yourself and how to give them the opportunity to take care of things. What I'm trying to talk about right now is basically how to get them to just pay for things in general. So you need to really get comfortable with asking, okay? Okay, so let's say he asks you, what are you doing tonight? Or what are you doing Friday night? Oh, I'm going out with my girlfriends, okay? When you're going out, whenever, like, first of all, he should say somewhere in that, oh my gosh, I wish I was going out with you, blah, 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 blah. You can be like, oh my gosh, you know what would be really nice? What would make me feel special is if you picked up the tab.
And in my head, I'm like, this broke bitch. No. Block. Block.
Okay?
If a bitch ever told me that, she'll never hear from me ever again. Block. Because in my head, I'm like, this bitch is broke. No.
Hey, I'm going shopping. Could you please pick up, you know, this shopping tab?
Can you please can you give me head for like 3 hours, no breaks? Because I had a rough day. Or, you know, can you give me head for just an hour, nonstop? Because I worked a long day. Can you do that, please? Just give me head. Don't give me that Guac 3000. Do you know the Guac 3000? Can you do that for an hour? Just please. Can you arch that back? No tap outs? But I need that Guac 3000 for an hour. Can you do that with no breaks? I don't care if your jaw hurts. We'll fix it. Can you give me that Guac 3000? If not, then please shut the fuck up. Thank you.
Another thing is you can literally just send them links. This is my biggest move. I will send you a link. You have to know them kind of a little bit. Like, by the 3rd day, I'll do this. I'll send you a link. By the 1st day, I will fucking ask.
Who's falling for this shit? If a woman ever comes to you with this bullshit, you block her ass, dude. Seriously, like, just send them a link and tell them to pick up. The fact that if guys are doing this shit, the bar is in hell. The bar is in hell, and the dating market is just filled with simps.
The most diabolical shit. For me, it's like the link is like, I'm letting you see my cart, okay? So I will put shit in my cart so you can have your Amazon cart, boycott them, but if you like them, Amazon cart, or whatever, right? Brand that you like, whatnot, and you can send it to them. Sometimes the cart doesn't show, so just be careful. You can send them screenshots. Or you can say, oh my gosh, look at what I've been looking at. Oh, really? Yeah, you can just kind of start the conversation. I was looking at this dress, or I was doing that, or I was doing that. And so then after that, you are like, could you get that for me? Will you get that for me? Could you please get that for me? You know what would make me really happy tonight? What would really just...
And you tell her this, listen, if a woman tells you this, oh, I'm about to go with my girls, can you pay the tab? If you bring a bitch home for us, because I want a threesome tonight, I want to fuck both of y'all. Just pull that shit with her. That's the best response. If you bring a bitch back for us tonight, yeah. And she said, I'm not into threesomes. I said, I'm not into threesomes. She may say that, right? Be like, well, have you tried eating pussy before? She says, no. Well, you're going to try tonight. Maybe you may like it tonight. You want me to pay for the tab? You bring a bitch back home for us. That's the only way I'm paying for the tab. And if she can't do that, then fuck her. She ain't going to be mooching off of you. Bring a bitch back home for us. Both of y'all about to be ATB on that fucking bed. You are not her goddamn show. Man, you better hold the line and put your foot down and tell her straight up, bring us a bitch back. Thank you. Gracias.
Warm my heart is if you pick that up for me. All right. I have many other tools under my tool belt. Let me know what else you guys are looking for, but I coach if you're interested. I will give you
She coaches, all these fake ass coaches.
All the
Okay.
tips, okay? Link in bio. I love you.
If you're living with a man and you guys live here, you're living with the provider. If you're living with a man and you guys live here, you're living with the loser. If you're living with a man and you guys live here,
If you're with a woman who has horsehair on her head, you're with the insecure woman. If you're with a woman who has fake ass hair, that's not even her real hair. She got that off of a horse. You're with the insecure woman. A loser.
you're living with the provider. I repeat, if you're living with a man and you guys live here,
The argument I've seen some women make about getting men to pay their bills because if they were there or not, the men would pay the bills anyways is a little short-sighted. And this is coming from a guy who fully provides for my wife. Like, I pay for everything.
Yeah, this guy pays for everything. There's nothing wrong with that. He's married. If he wants to do that, fine. But I do notice like a lot of Asian guys, that's their thing. I think it's in their culture. They are provider guys. They will pay all the bills. Let me know in the comments if you're Asian, but that's what I've noticed. And there's nothing wrong. But a lot of Asian guys, they don't play about that. Once they get married, they're going to pay all the bills and make sure their woman is set. And it's not no dig or no hate towards them. But that's one thing about Asian guys. They are providers. They will pay the bills and stuff.
You know, like, I take care of my wife. But for most cases, if men are single, they will live on the absolute bare minimum. I'm talking 1, 2 bedroom apartment, nice car, and they spend maybe $2,000-$3,000 on random shit by themselves. Like, generally, most men are super low maintenance and they need the bare minimum. They usually just care about a car and that's their biggest expense. Now, when you add a woman into your life, that's when things start getting more expensive. You got to pay for her maintenance, her care, more space in a house. You're probably going to go from 1 to 2 bedroom to needing a 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom when you go out to eat.
And I give respect to this guy, even though he's providing. I'm glad that he didn't attack men and shit and wasn't also, I'm glad he wasn't like, yeah, if you're not a provider, you're not a man. I'm glad that he's speaking the truth and facts about how us men, when we live by ourselves, we're not paying as much as if we were with another woman. If we had a woman we had to take care of, our expenses are always going to be low compared to having to provide for someone. So I give this guy props for really stating the obvious, stating the real facts and not talking shit about guys who refuse to do this.
You're paying for 2, not just for 1. All of these things add up. And let's be real, most women don't account for that and they don't see that. And while, again, I am a full advocate for men paying the bills and being responsible and having leadership in the household and taking care of their loved ones, it's not as simple as if they weren't there, you'd pay the same thing. You can quite literally expect bills to double when you take care of a spouse.
He's right. He's right. But you guys don't provide. You provide for yourself, never for a woman. These women will use your goofy ass and take your goofy ass for all that you got when she gets bored and tired of the marriage. Take your ass to divorce court, and was all that providing worth it? When you go through a divorce and you got to give this woman half of your shit or even all of it, and you got to start your life all over again. Was it worth providing for? Let me know in the comments. All right, let me know in the comments what y'all think, and I'll holler at y'all. Peace.